And gentlemen, can you hear me?
I can.
That's perfect. That's perfect because our last guest, I must have talked to these people for 10 minutes, did an introduction, played their music. They couldn't hear a damn thing I had to say. So congratulations. We at least have got that done. So, gentlemen, go ahead and give us a brief introduction on yourselves and tell us a little bit about yourselves.
I'm Mark. I'm the lead singer of Killjay. That's Steven, our drummer up there.
Yep, Stephen Thomas, drummer.
So, tell us about Killjay. How did you guys get together as a group?
Wow. It was the year around 2000, and I just decided I knew if I started a hard rock metal band that it wasn't going to be fortune and fame or anything like that. And I just wanted to play music that I like to listen to. I wanted to write, record, and perform original hard rock and metal music. Yeah. And I just started doing it, and it's evolved over the years. Of course, it's been, Jesus, over 20 years now, and
Wow.
we're still rolling. Sometimes we gain momentum. Sometimes we run to a screeching halt, like, the last couple of years with COVID and everything. Everything just came to a standstill. But now the ball's getting rolling again. We're getting momentum back. We're starting to record again. We're getting shows again. So that's good.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So, what has been some interesting moments in the history of Killjay?
Let me think of a good one that I can tell. This is probably family friendly, isn't it? No. Our our van broke down on the way to Jackson one time, and our drummer at the time, Barry, paid Chris, our guitar player at the time, $50 to jump into a little cow pond that was off on the side of the interstate. And he stripped down to his boxers and dove off right into the pond. So that's pretty
awesome.
interesting, I guess.
That is awesome.
What's sad is, though, that was so long ago. We didn't have like good cell phones. Like we basically like had flip phones and stuff. So I wish that would have happened in a modern time where we could have got a good video of it.
So, how did you start playing music there, Steven? How did you get in the music world?
My dad toured a little bit when I was a kid, and he mainly played kind of southern rock / country, maybe a little bit of gospel here and there. And he's a drummer. Before I was born, he stopped to raise a family and do that sort of thing. So my first introduction to drums was a makeshift drum set made out of a kick drum, 5-gallon buckets for floor toms, and old beat-up pots and pans for makeshift cymbals. And I was about 4 or 5 at the time. And since then, I've been fortunate enough to play with some very prestigious DCI drum and bugle corps. I got more into the rudimental side of things there for a while, and then switched over to drum set, and started with Killjay probably, I don't know, Mark, what would you say, 7-8 years ago, somewhere in there?
Yeah, that sounds about right. You might have noticed we're being joined now by our guitar player, Sean. He made it.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So,
And you were asking about funny moments in Killjay history. He just reminded me of one good one when Pauly Shore got on stage with us at Rockapalooza. That was unplanned and surprising, but a very interesting moment.
Pauly Shore.
Yep, the Weasel himself. We were doing what song was it?
Leave me alone.
We're doing "Leave Me Alone," and he stood there and was listening to the song. And I saw somebody on side stage, kind of like bobbing their head, but I was focused, on the crowd and everything. And all of a sudden, there's this guy standing next to me, and I turn and look, and it's Pauly Shore, and he's got his hand out, reaching for the microphone, and I'm like, okay, it's a party. Let's see what happens. And he sang. He didn't know the words, but he sang along with the melody, and it sounded cool. And the crowd went nuts. It was a fun moment.
It's actually on YouTube.
I think that is on YouTube. Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So Steven, back to you a little bit. How did you end up in this band? Because
Well, we all have a lot of mutual friends together. Some of the local groups around here. I played in other bands that we played shows with Killjay in the past, and the opportunity was there. I think it officially started after I recorded Infection, give or take, which I recorded that song for a case of beer, which is a pretty sweet deal.
It's more money than I've ever made in this band.
Yeah. So it was after that they kind of went through a couple drummers, and I was at a point where I was kind of playing with a couple of bands, but kind of not at the same time. I was more or less filling in. So just the timing was right. The opportunity came available, and I've known these guys for 15 years, so it was an easy transition.
awesome. So, Mark, how did you end up starting music?
Music in general, I kind of grew up with it. I was singing in church when I was like 5 years old, and of course my musical taste changed when I discovered Ozzy Osbourne. I used to spend the night over at a friend's house, and his dad had like a really cool record collection, and I would stay up all night listening to his dad's records like Kiss and Motley Crue and Sabbath and Ozzy, and I was like, man, this is amazing. And the more I listened to it, the more I realized I don't want to just be a spectator in this. I want to be involved somehow. So I started playing guitar, and it went through some ups and downs. Like I gave up on it for a little while, and then went back to it. And then one night, this is shows you how old I am. I was on dial-up, and I found the Misfits song Bible, and it was every Misfits song tabbed out on tablature on Notepad. And I downloaded it, printed it, and stayed up all night learning like every Misfits song. Next day the sun comes up, my hand's bleeding. I was hooked, and I had to be a musician. I just had to forever.
Wow. That's awesome. So how do we get in touch with Killjay online? Listen to your music, all that.
I suck at social media. Sean here checks our Killjay Facebook page pretty regular. He actually screenshots messages and texts them to me for me to reply to sometimes. But yeah, Spotify. We're on Spotify. We got our first and only at the moment official video is on YouTube. I Choose Revenge is the name of the song, and we're real proud of it. Everybody go check it out. Again, Facebook. I think we have an Instagram. Yeah. Twitter. We have a Twitter, but I don't ever check it. We've been around long enough now. If you Google Killjay, you'll find pretty much
something.
Yeah, you'll find something.
That's awesome.
Apple Music.
Yeah. Actually, there is a band overseas that's a rap group called Killjay now, so you might find some of that. But you'll know it's not a rap group if you find us.
So, Sean, how did you end up in music?
I think I saw the Korn video, and that like completely changed my life. Because before I grew up listening to the rock music, but it was just whatever. And then I saw like Freak on a Leash by Korn, and I was like, what is this? And that's when I knew I had to be a musician. It was that band. That band started everything for me.
That's awesome. We have got some great guests with us today. They join us live here on our big broadcast. So I Choose Revenge. Tell me a little bit about this track, and then we're going to play it here in a few moments.
It's going to be our new EP. We've got 3 songs completely done. I think 2 of them are on Spotify. That one and 1,000 Foot Grave, right? They're both on Spotify. We got 4 more that we're going to finish up, and we're going to release this EP. And a cool thing about this song is, like I said, it was our first ever official. It took us 20 years to finally make a video. We had so much fun doing it, and it turned out so good that we're definitely going to be doing more for this EP. But Sean actually moved into this new house, and he had to completely renovate it. And he had this one room completely stripped down, and we covered the walls in Visqueen. We made up like 4 gallons of fake blood and splattered it all over the walls. And brought in some lighting and camera crew. Our good friend Jeremy Griffin, he filmed everything, cut the video together, and it turned out really good. And we're really proud of it.
That's awesome. Well, we are going to go to this track, and we are going to place you guys on a brief hold here on the old Skip Skype, and we are going to play this track. It is absolutely amazing. We've got more coming up with the guys in Killjay, and it is, if I can get everything moved back. Look at that. Okay, it's like I've done this before.
This is the last night of fun before back to the dorms.
Actually,
back in 3 days. One more night.
So is anybody going to get laid on there? I don't know. We've got all sorts of things going on. We want to talk about Alex Jones a little bit later on. We're going to make fun of him in his $45 million lawsuit, if you can believe that. But we're going to go back to our guests. I don't know. It's always interesting here. You never know what you're going to get when you listen to this broadcast.
You can tell
However, we are going to go back to our guests. They join us live here on our big program. So, tell us a little bit about this music video. How did this all come together? Talk to us a little bit more about it. Give us more details.
It was all Sean's idea. I'll let him take that one.
I was redoing my house, and that room, I was like, hell, we can make a video in here. So I just asked around everybody, and I was thinking, we're all big fans of Dexter, so we figure like we'd hang all that stuff around the walls, like this kill room, and then shoot a video like that. But the funny part was we had fired a drummer like the day before, and then got another drummer like that day to come do the video. So that was like the most awesome part about it, is that we were able to film the video with the drummer.
Here's another funny thing is, I told you we made up all that fake blood to spatter on the Visqueen on the walls.
Yes.
It looked really cool, and it even turned out cool in the video, but those lights were really hot, and that blood was like a Cairo syrup based, and as it got hot, it thinned out, and it actually turned pink. So it almost looks like we're standing in this pink room, screaming, "I choose revenge."
That's awesome.
But it still turned out great, though. Like, it was kind of ironic that we were going for, like, metal blood, and it was just kind of like a pink-looking room.
That's awesome. That is fantastic. So, tell me a little bit about your writing process. How does all that? What is that like? Take me through all that.
It's actually evolved a lot. In the early days, I would just kind of come up with a melody, and I'm not a closer. I'm good at like coming up with the idea and then presenting it to the group, and then we flesh it out. I would come up with like the framework and everything, and then let them put the bricks on it and the curtains and make it look good and make it sound good. But here lately, Sean comes up with such good riffs, and like on that down, bum, 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 bum. He was playing that, and I was like, oh, dude, that's all kinds of heavy. That's like slow heavy, drag you across the floor heavy, just gnarly. I was like, I gotta write something to that. And I think that was how I Choose Revenge came about, was just I heard that riff, and I was like, I gotta do something with that. And so sometimes it starts with a riff, sometimes I'm in the shower or driving down the road, and I think of a cool lyric that I want to try to do something with, or a cool melody, and I run it by them, and I'm like, what do you think about this? And then they'll just kind of flesh it out, and a lot of times it becomes something. I know during this writing process, I don't remember which song, I had to leave and go somewhere, and I came back, and they had completely changed it by the time I got back to this awesome, like, crazy thing, and I was like, man, I need to leave more often and just leave you guys to your own devices. And
That was I Choose Revenge?
that was I Choose Revenge.
That
middle piece, yeah, that's real atmospheric, yeah. Like, it was totally different before, and then they wrote that, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. So it's real collaborative. Everybody has a hand in it. I've learned to let people do what they're good at, and I'm not going to try to write drums because I don't even know how to play drums. I'm not going to tell Sean how to play guitar because he's a good guitar player. He don't need my help. So I'll write the lyrics and the melodies and stuff, but I leave everybody to do what they're good at doing, and it works out good.
Fantastic. Well, before we let you guys go, how do we get in touch with you online, social media, all that?
Just hit up Killjay on Facebook, and there's a bot that'll answer you to start with, but like I said, Sean monitors all the messages, and then me or him or somebody, one of the band members will get back with you. We don't have a manager per se. We just do everything ourselves. We're real DIY, and so you'll talk to one of us if you